Hello, this is Scott Ammon, Safe 3000, and this is my second snippet, if you will, on my rules of safety. And on the board I got Ammon's safety rule number 2, which is also, I call my accident causation. This is a little theory that I use to help me oftentimes get to the theories that are explained in your book to maybe be able to explain why this accident happened. But this one here is just like rule number 1. It starts out with you are responsible for your safety. Later on it becomes management. Managers are responsible for the safety of their employees. But for right now, let's work on you. Because in order, in my opinion, to be a good safety professional, you need to be safe not only at work but at home. It's called your personal safety culture. All right, number 2, there are indirect causes of accidents. Sometimes there are literally thousands of them that you can take a look at. And oftentimes in an accident investigation, a really classic example would be either one of the space shuttle disasters. There were literally thousands of indirect causes that all funneled down and all led down into the failure. And oftentimes, like I said, there's really a lot. Then there is the direct cause. What was the final straw that that broke the camel's back? In other words, I have all of these indirect causes. And by the way, as you think of indirect causes, they should be, if this did not happen, hopefully it would prevent the accident. And that's the whole thing about accident investigation, about causes and theories, is that we want to learn what happened so we can prevent it. All right, 4th is the event. What happened? Was it a crash? That's as good a word as I can think of. What was the accident? What took place? And then finally, similar to my other rule, what were the results or the consequences? Did somebody die? Did a crane fall over and kill 7 people, which happened recently in a demolition job? Was it minor? People had stitches and broken arms or broken legs. Was it even more minor than that? Cuts and bruises, or was it a near miss? So as you think about this, let me kind of just sum it up, and then I've got an example on the board to show you. So again, you're responsible. We're all the indirect causes, in other words, things that could be listed, that could be investigated, that could be looked at, and say, if we had done this, perhaps the accident wouldn't happen. What was the final straw that broke the camel's back? What was the actual bang? It happened. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it happened that fast. What event took place and what are the results? Now I need to turn my camera to my demonstration. And over here on the board, what I have is an intersection. And I've told you before, I firefight, and oftentimes I bring my real-world examples to the classroom, and this is a classic example of it. This was 5 o'clock in the morning. What I have here is a tractor trailer that was delivering pizza supplies of all things to the town of Warrensburg. And then what I have is a small car that crashed into the right side of the truck. This was at 5:50 in the morning when we got toned out on this on a Saturday or on a Sunday morning. So here's kind of the scenario. Number 1, don't worry about who's responsible here because both parties actually end up becoming responsible. Next, what were the indirect causes of the accident? Well, let's start out with the tractor trailer. Number 1, I had 2 drivers. I had a main driver and a secondary driver. The main driver was up in the sleeper, or supposed to be. The secondary driver was doing the driving. What they did was they are delivering materials to make pizzas to one of the pizza chains. They were supposed to meet in Warrensburg at 6 o'clock for their pickup. What had happened is the second driver had missed Warrensburg, went completely through it, and was south of town. When the second driver got up, got out of the sleeper, and said, well, aren't we in Warrensburg? And he said, no, I haven't come across it yet. And the second driver knew the territory and said, yes, we have, we need to turn around. All right, now think about this. You're a tractor trailer, you're going down a country road, and you need to turn around. That's what he did. That is why this truck is sitting this way. This guy came in and then backed up onto a substreet of a main highway. And actually his tires were going the other way. So in other words, as he had backed up, he was to the transition point where he was getting ready to swing his front end the other way. Now, at the same time, understand this, most tractor trailers, and this one specifically, did not have but one side marker light. The state trooper pointed that out to us later on in the event when he got there and did some of his investigation. All right, now the second indirect causes. So anyway, I got my tractor trailer, and I have a young man who, number one, wasn't drinking, but that's what everybody thought, but had been out most of the night. He had been given a speeding ticket and did a field sobriety test at 3:30 in the morning, about 40 miles south of town. So the thought here from the trooper was that he was just heading home. Although it was considered alcohol, though alcohol was found, and what we feel had happened is he was tired, fatigued, and didn't see the trailer because he did not hit his brakes. His impact was at 60 miles an hour when he hit this. It took us almost an hour to cut him out of the car. Mostly just, that's how long it took by the time everything got on there and we've got it all done. The truck, which was only 1 year old, was totaled. When the wrecker came to move it, he said, "Oh my God, the frame is bad enough that I'm going to have to disconnect the trailer from the truck because it won't go down the road straight." That's what he told us. I don't know if his that or he wanted two toes. So anyway, and what was the final result? In my opinion, the direct cause, the whole thing's leading up to it, was my driver, who should have been responsible for his own safety, not to be able to identify that I had something in front of me and to be able to hit the brakes. So that's just a simple, really, really boiled down, because I can spend a whole hour on this one. There's so many issues when you look at management, so many issues that needed to be addressed, especially as a safety person, specifically, how do I stop this? And I'll leave it with this final one, and it has to do with the company's safety culture. What else could you have done to prevent this? Back up in the middle of the highway, even though it's 5 o'clock in the morning? No, I don't believe so. I believe that a simpler route would have been to, in this case, I could have gone another 2.5 miles and there was a cross highway that would have been very easy to turn around. But again, I wasn't there. I don't know. All I'm trying to do is show you my second rule. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I will catch you on the next video.